so Jason says, can't keep the conversation going. You know, one of the things that I can tell you is you don't know what to say, first of all, because one, you have a high expectation of how the conversation should go. Like you think a conversation should go a certain way and you're trying to live up to a certain standard. You're not letting your creativity and your humor flow naturally. Because if you were truly present with yourself and if you're truly, you know, in a state where you're truly at ease when talking to girls, things would flow naturally. You would have ideas that would flow naturally. You would pay attention to, for example, what she's wearing, or you would pay attention to things that you might comment on in the environment, for example. Usually, you know, honestly, guys, if I have nothing to say to a girl, like if she's not interesting, or if I see that the conversation isn't going anywhere, I'm just going to comment on even some random stuff, or I'm just going to move. You can, honestly, you can say whatever the fuck you want, as long as you're congruent when you say it, and as long as you have the right frame. So as long as you're not conveying lower value, you can pretty much talk about anything. You want to talk about mushrooms, you want to talk about markets, stock markets, you want to talk about anything. It comes down also to how you say it, because the words actually, you know, they don't matter as much as you think they matter. If you come from the principle that everything you say, no matter what, has value, therefore everything that comes out of your mouth is going to be valuable for women, because you're going to have that strong convictions when you actually say the words you say. Okay, so I've seen, you know, multiple guys, they could talk about anything, like even talk about birds, and the way they would say it and the tone they would use and the conviction behind the words would be sufficient to attract the girl without even be interesting, without even be conventionally interesting in what they're saying. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now, but that's also a point of view. But at the same time, you truly need a verbal structure. Like if you don't have a verbal structure, you're fooling yourself. It's like a boat without a GPS. You know, you're going out in the sea and you don't know where to go. Like you're just, you don't have a northern star of how your conversation should go. And, you know, with a woman, you should always strive to progress in the conversation. That's why I see guys, you know, we've been on boot camps with guys dozens of times, especially, you know, those nerds, engineers types of guys. They can stay in interactions for 30 minutes with women and nothing would lead to, you know, a sexual thing. Like it would be all about logical things and boring things and factual things. There was no emotions, no stories, no sexualization, nothing. And you need to have that. So Max's book is going to help you tremendously to have that verbal structure, you know, and for the price that it is right now, you're never going to find anything on the market, like anything. Like you can't, you know, you can't learn this by yourself, honestly. Like this is not something you're going to learn by yourself, or you're going to learn, you know, chatting with your buddies, chatting with, you know, your friends. This is something that you should seek, you know, people that have already achieved the stuff you want to achieve. And Max is a genius at that. So Ali says, I actually bought it at the time of purchasing Accelerator program. Awesome, Ali. So what did you think of it? How was it? Did that help you get a clearer understanding of the dynamics of conversations? So Ali says, yeah, it is helping me with conversations for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and the book is written by Max. Yeah, you know, a lot of guys think about, you know, how they can improve their conversations or how they can, you know, deal with approach anxiety. But then when you solve that, the next level is actually to build up a lifestyle where, you know, you don't need to put in that much work. You have that top-down approach to game. Instead of gaming your way like a little weasel, you know, day gaming in malls and, you know, approaching hundreds of girls, now you have that top-down approach where you have that social circle, you have that kind of a way, a system to pull women in without you doing much effort, with you leveraging communication, leveraging, you know, for example, knowing, you know, the managers of the nightclubs in your city or the managers of some key restaurants in your city. And by doing that and by managing those things and by what we call value arbitrage, you know, things, you can actually make a lifestyle for yourself where, you know, women are being funneled to you and easily, like without having that pick apart artist approach where you have to, always approach and always work too much to do it, And social circle is a key component. It's the next level. So we're going to cover some basic things. And of course, it's not going to be as deep as in the Dating Accelerator, which is our real mentoring program. This is just going to be a sneak peek of what we actually cover with our students. But this is going to give you, let's say, a bigger vision for yourself, a bigger understanding, a bigger bird's eye view of how it all works together. Socrates said, excellence is a habit. The things you do now, the way you talk to us and the way you show up on this call is probably a reflection of how you behave in other areas of your life. And usually, how you do one thing is how you do other things most of the time. For example, some people, I know a lot of people who always listen to music, but they never finish a piece of music. They always go to the next one, without even finishing the initial music they've listened to. And usually those people, they never finish anything in life. They never finish, closing women, getting sex. They never finish, their workouts. They never finish, writing, I don't know, something like a book or something. And that's how they do other things in their lives. Honestly, bro, I am in Pakistan. So yeah, Ali says, I approach 6 girls here, but the culture is so different here. I mean, man, I have some students actually currently in Pakistan, and they're still managing to take action, although there's this apparently very strict cultural bounds that, people have. But honestly, in every country, the same things work. Evolution and human nature doesn't change. Every woman wants, a fucking man who can, show her better ways and lead her to better days. So every woman seeks a man to whom she can submit to. And if you can be that man, and if you can learn the right practices, and if you can have the right mindsets about it, then it's going to be okay for her as well. I think we covered during that week the love state transference. And what we said to you about the love state transference is that whatever you feel, she feels. So if for you it is a problem, if for you talking to her is a problem, if for you the culture is a problem, then it's going to be a problem for her as well. Then it's going to surely be a problem for her as well. But if it's not a problem for you, if you're totally fine with yourself, and if you actually, instead of being, instead of walking on eggshells every time you talk to girls because you think that the cultural background is holding you back, instead of doing that and actually making fun of the culture, actually making fun of the situation, actually putting the girl at ease and telling her it's okay, empathizing with the girl, you'll see that it's all fine. It's all fine. And I'm sure in Pakistan, it's still okay. It's not like North Korea or like a very tyrannical country. As I said, I have some students and they've managed to talk to some girls. So, I'm pretty sure you can do that. And I'm pretty sure you can get laid. So Randy says, only way for me to get higher quality girls is to not just settle, but understand that they must be worth my time, not the other way around. Exactly, man. Exactly. So if a girl isn't worth your time, if a girl isn't actually worth your attention, then you just remove your attention. Fuck that bitch. Fuck her. Ali says, I live in Canada though, visiting my family here. Okay. So you live in Canada most of the year. So if you live in Canada most of the year, that's okay. Use Pakistan as a practice for you. Just practice. And actually it's better because you're going to practice in an even harsher environment. So when you're going to go back to your normal environment, which is in Canada, and which has less cultural norms forced upon you, then it's going to be easier then, so practice in this harsher environment that you're in right now, so that when you come back in Canada, it's going to be even easier, and honestly, it's everywhere the same. Every girl is going to respond the same if you're congruent and if you know what you're saying and you know what you're doing. So bro, I almost got kicked out of the mall because I was approaching girls. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in that case, it depends. And in malls, it's true that a lot of restrictions are being applied in malls and in confined places like malls, supermarkets, things like that. So it can be normal that they apply those kinds of restrictions. But anyway, guys, as I said, excellence is a habit. So the more you do it, the more it becomes part of you. The more game and that attractive character that you're forging now becomes part of you. It's all about shortcutting the process. It's all about, instead of wasting moments of your life trying to figure things out by yourself, your life is just a series of moments, guys. Your life is just a series of present moments, going on and on and on and on. Your future is just a present moment in the future. It's just a series of moments. So are you going to waste years, moments and moments and moments trying to figure things out? Or are you going to actually shortcut the process so you can actually enjoy some other moments with the right understandings and, having those amazing sexual adventures right from the beginning, like very fast, instead of, fumbling around, getting anxious about things and things like that. So how important is it to have a nice outfits to show your worth? It's a great question. So, style is actually one of the fundamentals of the nonverbals. We covered that in the 7-day challenge, and you can actually be part of it. I can send you the link later if you want. This week, if you didn't understand, we're actually hosting a 7-day challenge where every day we cover a specific part of our system. So in day 3, we covered actually body language, and part of body language was, style. And I said that, style is truly important because it's part of your first impression. And your first impression, whether in dating or even in any social situation, first impressions are very hard to get rid of. People would rather rationalize their first image of you, their first rationalization of who you are, than actually change their minds about who you are. So if you can make the right first impressions, they're going to stick. Your first impressions are going to stick, And some scientists say that, first impressions are made even before you speak, and they're made the first 3 seconds of how, when people see you, it's made, the first 3 seconds of when they see you. And that impacts their whole experience of you. And if you can have the right style, if you can have the right nice outfits that convey a certain lifestyle, that convey a certain status, this is going to affect the way people treat you. Your image actually, tremendously affects how people treat you. And it makes a huge difference. Imagine right now you talk to a girl with, Rolex or a big name brand. In top cities, in premier cities, the top girls, the elite women are going to recognize these brands. Like if you wear a Audemars Piguet or a Rolex, they know what's up. They know you have status. They know you can afford it. So they know that you have that lifestyle. So it's going to affect how they're going to treat you. But honestly, it doesn't necessarily, if you're a high value man and you know how to communicate properly, even if you don't have a Rolex, you're still going to manage to pull her and have sex with her. It's just a facilitator of showing up your status. It's just a facilitator of communicating a certain lifestyle. And usually, I would highly recommend, not wearing don't wear too many colors. A lot of guys, what they see in a lot of guys is they wear a lot of different colors, like yellow plus blue plus pink plus. You want to keep it simple. Leonardo da Vinci says, simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. Simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. So if you can wear a style where it's very simple, yet it still looks expensive, you're on point. When you can look very simple, yet very expensive, you're on point. So for example, if I have a very simple black V-neck t-shirt with a very simple jean, but I have, a diamond Rolex or not even a diamond Rolex, but let's say a very big name brand, big name watch, it's simple because, you know, I'm dressed like very simple. I have a simple black t-shirt, simple jeans, simple shoes, yet I have, you know, a very cool watch. So that means that I'm not showing up that much, but I'm still very high status because I have that high watch, you know. And usually people that wear too many like brands from everywhere, like it's too flashy, it looks cheaper than someone that has a mix of it all, a mix of both, like something very simple with something a little bit expensive. For example, a very expensive belt, a very expensive watch, but everything else is very simple. And you'll see that those styles are the styles that win, you know, most of the time. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to dress. You know, you can dress however the fuck you want, but I'm just saying from my experience, that's what's up. Okay. And a lot of guys, you know, there was this movement of peacocking, you know, back in the day. I don't know if you know this guy, Mystery, and all these guys, like the guy who wrote the game, Neil Strauss, they were talking about peacocking. What you have to understand is that there was this movement where you could wear very extravagantly and you would get girls because you would wear like the most extravagant thing in the venue or the most extravagant thing in the street, whatever, you know. But through the years, it's kind of ridicule. It's kind of like clownish, you know. If you wear, I don't know, like, I don't know, they would wear like this weird ass outfits and that would be like really kind of ridicule, you know. So I wouldn't advise that anymore. I would advise a very simple style, and you can make the less mistakes by wearing all black. Honestly, all black is good. Randy says, I would like to add that I have been at work, but listening and watching every day, and the Accelerator has been extremely helpful. So yeah, thank you, Randy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yeah, you're crushing it, man. Like you're not making excuses. You're showing up, and yeah, I'm glad it helped you. So Randy says, where do you shop, and could you show us an outfit that you think would look alpha? Man, I mean, depends on, you know, what type of event you want to go to and what type of style you want to have. There are multiple styles that could be winning for women. You could dress, you know, with suits every day, and that would be great. Or you could dress with t-shirts, and that would be great. But the main thing is that the outfit shouldn't be too extravagant and shouldn't look too cheap. It's not about what you wear, it's about how you feel when you wear it. So if you wear a suit and you're comfortable in it and you feel great, I mean, that's going to be better than wearing, you know, the stylish thing, but feeling unease, like feeling a lack of ease when you wear it, you know? So it all depends as well in how you feel when you wear it. I know that when I wear an expensive brand, I feel good about myself. I feel good about myself every time I wear anything, you know, but I'm going to feel a kind of prestige, a kind of aura, a kind of expensive aura when I'm going to, you know, when I'm going to wear a 20K watch, or when I'm going to wear, I don't know, like, you know, some Christian Louboutin shoes that cost $2,000. You know, I'm not going to feel the same as wearing Nikes, you know, when I wear them. So it depends, you know, it really depends. So yeah, Jason says, I'm thinking about investing in a watch. Yeah, man, you can invest in a watch. That's a great investment. So Ali says, I'm going to access to the videos of Accelerator later when I am in Canada as well. Yeah, I guess it's a question what you said. And yes, you have unlimited access to it even after the challenge. So yeah, enjoy. So Randy says, where do you shop? And could you show us? Yeah, I answered that question. But where do I shop? I mean, I shop, you know, Dolce & Gabbana. I shop Prada, Fendi, you know, Tom Ford, those kind of stuff. I like big brands. I like wearing lavish stuff. And I mean, you know, you gotta, I mean, that's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice. It's a lifestyle choice. You wear what you want, but I just like, you know, wearing big brands. That's it. You know, even with cheap brands like Zara and H&M and all of these brands, you can manage to have a pretty cool outfit if you know what to shop for. I know, I'm not gonna lie, I have a few things from Zara, and it's pretty cool. Like, they actually have pretty cool shit sometimes. So it really depends. You can mix it up, you know. You can have, for example, honestly, for t-shirts, for example, I have a few big brands t-shirts, but a lot of my t-shirts are very simple because I wear, simple black t-shirts. So do I need to have like this big brands, like do I need to have a Louis Vuitton t-shirts if it's just black? No, you don't need to. So it really depends. It really depends. You can wear some very simple Zara black t-shirts and still manage to have some very big brands for the other, the other parts of the outfit. So Jason says, do you think it's worth traveling to find girls? Of course. Now I'm actually in Bucharest. I was in Paris for a few months, now in Bucharest. Next month, we're going to go to Poland. And every month we're traveling. Every month we're meeting new girls from new cities. And I can tell you, human nature doesn't change. So everything we do with those girls, it's exactly the same thing and it works the same. It's all the same, okay? So yeah, it's worth it. It's worth traveling because you actually learn about multiple cultures and you can actually, like, it's pretty fun to meet a bunch of women from different countries. You can actually learn new languages and learn new nuances about women in different countries. So Jason says, do you and Max act in wingmen for each other? Is it important to have one? Of course, man. It's important to have wingmen, allies, people that you can count on, And me and Max, we count on each other. We help each other. When we meet some girls, I make sure that I'm actually showing that he's actually the man. I'm actually showing that I just show that I trust this guy and that this girl could actually have a great time with this guy and that he's trustworthy. And that's the point of a wingman, to show trust, to show that you're someone that is respected. It's a big one. So when when I talk about Max, for example, to a girl, I'm always making sure that I show to the girl that I actually respect him, so that in her mind, she thinks that, if this guy respect him, therefore he is respected by other men, and therefore he is a sex-worthy guy that I could fuck with. So that's the mental loop that's going on. So have you both ever tried to go for the same girl? Actually, funny enough, yes, in the beginning sometimes, but then we managed to have, some signs or some things we tell ourselves to actually switch if there's a common target, let's just say. And actually, there's abundance, guys. So usually, even if he likes a girl, okay, take her. I have another one. I'll take another one. I have my other ones. I don't care, So usually it's just fun. Like sometimes we steal each other girls just for fun. Like it's just like a challenge, Like he's challenging me. He tells me sometimes like, if you're not going for her, I'm getting her and I'm going to fuck her. And then he fucks with me because now I want to fuck her. I'm going to go actually. And then it's just a challenge, we just challenge each other, just like a game, So sometimes we do that, but yeah. If you don't have great wingmen, I could guess that that's a big failure point there, because all the great guys and all our students, we have wingmen and have people that they, that's actually the point of this brand, Higher Self Circle. It's a circle of men, and it's actually a way of connecting with other wingmen and other playboys around the world. So all our clients now, for example, all our previous clients, current clients, bootcamp clients that we had years ago, all of those clients are actually congregating right now on a group that we have on Telegram. And we have over 30 playboys there. A lot of guys from multiple backgrounds, investors, entrepreneurs, people that, are working in finance, things like that. So it's actually a great network. And every time I have a question, or every time a student asks us questions, that's a great way to actually have our life upgrade as well, mutually, and it's a big part of my success. So yeah, most of my friends have settled down. Best way to find a wingman, best way to find a wingman is to, I would say, first of all, look at some groups with mutual interests. For example, you could look to Facebook groups about dating, where you could actually ask a question, maybe in Higher Self Circle, in our group, ask a question, is there a wingman in X city where you are? Is there, I'm serious about getting better with girls. I want to, improve, and I want to, go out and talk to some girls. Is there someone in X city? Then you tell your city. So you could do that. You could find some wingmen in some groups with guys that have mutual interests. So for example, there are some other groups that you can find on Facebook or on Telegram with other guys from other cities. And sometimes some groups sometimes have your city, like specific to your city. So you could find wingmen that way, or you could go to, I don't know, entrepreneurial meetings. You could go to, from my experience, a lot of the entrepreneur type meetings or a lot of the e-commerce meetings or things like that, you're going to find some guys that are ambitious. You're going to find some guys that want to improve, an area of their lives as well. And usually, dating is, an improvement point in their lives as well. If they're managing to get some money, they're probably working on getting girls as well. So usually you're going to find some guys in those types of events as well. Or you could just chat some guys up on Instagram. So with our system on Instagram, for example, and we showed this system on the 7-day challenge, we showed how to, we didn't show everything, but we showed you how to build a great profile, etc. And when you have a great profile and when you know what to text and how to connect with other high quality men, you could actually strike up some great connections on Instagram as well. Like I have some multiple guys, actually Max, I've met him through Instagram. I met some other guys that I've made, I've recorded some podcasts with on Instagram. So I've reached out to a guy called, for example, a guy from, I don't know if you know this guy, Bulldog Mindset. He's one of the guys that I interviewed, for example. It's just an example. And this guy, I purely reached out to him on Instagram. I said, hey man, nice post, blah, blah, blah. And then we talked a little bit. And then after, a couple back and forths, I had him on my podcast. And it's very easy to do that. It's very easy to connect with, either business partners or friends/wingmen on Instagram. So you go to, for example, places in your city, you type in your city and you see, some guys in your city that might be cool. And then you chat them up. You just say, hey man, I saw your profile, great profile, man. I saw you're in my city as well. And then, you strike, a couple, you chat a little bit and then you ask him, hey, do you go out? Hey, let's, I'm going out this weekend to this place. Let's, join me if you want. And that's it.